We go green in Marrakesh. Jean-Éric Vergne's going to run out of energy. Da Costa wins the race.
Welcome to round 10 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship as we head to North Africa for our latest instalment of all-electric action. Souks, sand and dramatic racing are all on the menu in magical Marrakesh. As we reach the latter stages of the championship, 4 leading protagonists are emerging. With only 12 points separating them, the pressure is on as they prepare to battle it out under the searing heat. But before we jump into the action from Marrakesh, let's take a closer look at our top 4 contenders. With 7 rounds remaining, the race for the Formula E World Championship, just 5 points ahead of Evans coming to Marrakesh, is Edoardo Mortara. With 1 win and 2 podiums from the last 3 races, the Rocket Venturi driver looks capable of going one better than last year, when he narrowly missed out on a maiden title.
Edoardo Mortara moves up into championship contention.
Bravo, bravo.
In P2, double champion Jean-Éric Vergne is the only one of the top 4 not to have won a race this year. And his second place finish in Jakarta was clearly a missed opportunity.
Man, we this race, like, it was ours. There's no way it was faster than us. Seriously, I'm so fed up.
But consistency has got him into contention this time round, with the Frenchman just 5 points off the lead for Diaz Techeetah. Ahead of Vergne, though, is Stoffel van Dorn. The Belgian leads the championship, but only by a handful of points. 5th place last time out was damage limitation after Van Dorn missed an attack mode activation.
I missed it.
That has knocked him out of the lead battle.
But a win and 4 podiums this season show that when he's error-free, he's a class act. Just 12 points separate the top 4 after 9 races, but behind them is a pack of talented drivers, all capable of entering the title fight with the right result. With plenty of twists and turns left in this season, it's all still to play for going into the Marrakesh E-Prix. The Red City will play host to Formula E for the 5th time, so drivers are in familiar territory. But this is the first time we've been here in the summer, so the temperature has been turned up a notch. The Moulay El Hassan circuit is a 2.97 kilometre, 12-turn track on the outskirts of Marrakesh. Turn 1 has a long, bumpy entry, so it's easy to make a mistake and difficult to be consistent. The attack mode activation zone is on the outside of turn 3, so watch out for cars on different lines converging on exit. Drivers want to cut the curbs as much as possible at the chicane, turns 4 and 5. There are 3 long straights on this circuit where the 30 kilowatt attack mode power boost will really come into play. The last one of those is in the final sector with a long run into turn 11. Then it's a tricky right-hander at turn 12, followed by the charge to the finish line and the end of the lap. An energy-hungry track. The drivers will have to not only be quick, but save energy while doing it. Plenty for the drivers to contend with here in Marrakesh, with the added challenge of the intense heat of the African summer sun. But time now to get stuck into the race action as we hand over to your ice-cool commentary team. Calling the race are former Audi team boss and 3-time Le Mans winner Alan McNish and lead commentator Jack Nichols.
Here's a look at how the grid will line up for the Marrakesh E-Prix. Andre Lotterer and Joe Benazzi had their lap times deleted. Stoffel Van Dorn was the slowest qualifier and will start 20th on the grid. Disaster for the championship leader. Robin Freitz, 5th in the championship, could only manage to qualify 15th. And Oliver Rowland just missed out on getting into the top 10. He intends to send it, he told me on the grid, and get stuck in. 10th is Lucas de Grassi for the Rocket Venturi team, the champion in Season 3, looking to get forward and score big points for his team, who are fighting in the team's championship. Mercedes EQ are leading the team's championship. The reigning champion, Nick de Vries, is the highest of their runners. He is only 9th on the grid. Nick Cassidy did well to advance through to the duels stage of qualifying. The New Zealander is starting 8th for the Envision team. Oliver Askew had comfortably his best qualifying performance of his Formula E career. A rookie this season, the American lines up 7th on the grid for the Avalanche Andretti team. Mitch Evans, he is coming into this race having won the last one in Jakarta and is 4th in the championship, just 12 points off the championship lead. The Jaguar man needs to make progress. His first target will be Jake Dennis in the other Avalanche Andretti. Both of the American team's cars getting through to the duels. Then it's Pascal Wehrlein, race winner in Mexico City. Can he repeat it again here in Marrakesh? He is driving the Tag Heuer Porsche. 3rd on the grid is the second place man in the championship, Jean-Eric Vergne. He is 5 points off Stoffel Van Dorn in the championship lead, but only 2 points ahead of Eduardo Mortara in the Rocket Venturi, who starts 2nd on the grid just in front of him. But it's the other DS Techeetah of Antonio Felix da Costa, the Season 6 champion, the last race winner here in Marrakesh 2 years ago, that starts on pole position, looking for his first victory of the season. Da Costa on pole, Mortara and Vergne right behind him, all 5 lights are on. And we go green in Marrakesh. It's not a great start from Mortara. Da Costa's done a really good job. And Vergne goes to the outside, but doesn't fancy an attack round the outside. Big lock-up from the front two. They both managed to get it stopped. Oliver Askew's on the attack, trying to go around the outside, and Mitch Evans is up into 6th place, and he's pulled it off. Evans has lost the place at the start, although he will have the inside line for the left-hander at turn 3, and he keeps it stuck in there. He's also got the Porsche. He goes to the inside of Wehrlein. Evans on the attack straight away, but Wehrlein holds the position. We're on board with the New Zealander running in 6th place. Looked as though he was about to lose out. Then suddenly he was on the attack, and actually Askew has just lost out to Cassidy and to Oliver Rowland, who's getting his elbows out early on. There's cars everywhere up at the chicane, but Da Costa holds the lead, Mortara 2nd, and then it's Vergne 3rd. Dennis is in 4th because he managed to get ahead of Wehrlein at the start. Very busy opening couple of corners, everybody safely through. Mortara's got 3 minutes of it, and Rowland is going to go for Da Costa here, down into turn 7, not quite close enough.
We can create a gap,
Mortara being told to create a gap to Da Costa in behind. Vergne was on the attack there, trying to get ahead of Jake Dennis, and did manage to do so, down into turn 7. Van Dorn's progress is now up into 14th position, but Mortara is leading. Da Costa is 2nd. Rowland is 3rd. Not for long. Rowland is 2nd. It's on a mission, Rowland. Let's have a look at the, because with 31 minutes to go, Rowland is now up into 2nd place. He only has 1% less than Mortara.
Yeah, but he's got 2% less than Da Costa, or 1.5, 2% less than Da Costa. That's a lot of energy. Yeah. He needs to try to hold his position now, which will ultimately, the beneficiary will be Eduardo Mortara, because he can do his own race, as he did in Berlin when he won. And so in that respect, now he's just got to think about the controlling of it, whereas Rowland is creating the problem for Da Costa. And Vergne has got the most energy of everybody. He looks 69%. And so he's in a really good position playing the long game. He needs to try to keep in touch, though, with Evans, just ahead of him.
Da Costa 3rd, Evans 4th, Vergne 5th. Dennis activates his 2nd attack mode with half an hour to go.
And just to note, of all the main runners, the one person that hasn't taken his 2nd attack mode is Evans. Everybody else has, as we see now.
Sims trying to find some room that I didn't think existed. It did exist, and Sims gets past Robin Freitz, and now Freitz is going to get passed by Pascal Wehrlein as well. So Freitz losing a couple of places after he had gained a couple of places, but that was quite busy, and Van Dorn is the next guy to try and pass Robin Freitz.
That's Pascal Wehrlein that was battling for a podium position at the beginning of the race. Now he's down in 12th place, 9 seconds, 10 seconds off the lead.
And that was all just from his energy management, wasn't it? There was no contact or a spin or anything like that. He just dropped back.
Here's the switch.
Yeah, Jean-Eric Vergne to the inside, Da Costa to the outside. Back through he goes. And And look, Da Costa's closing. He does the last personal best on that last lap of the race. Lucas Di Grassi has set the fastest lap earlier on today, so he's set for that extra point at the moment. Van Dorn is about to attack Sam Bird. You can see that on the tower on the left-hand side as he's fighting for 9th and ultimately 8th places. But here comes Da Costa, the man who is looking for his first win of the season, and he is right on the back of Mortara. He does have more pace than his teammate. There won't be any added time because we haven't had any safety car periods, so there won't be any added time at the end of this race. We've got 3 minutes and 40 seconds plus 1 lap to go, and this is just a straight fight between Da Costa and Mortara. They're pretty similar on energy. Da Costa looks to have the advantage on pace.
He certainly does, but Verne's dropped off the back and he's not able to stay into the slipstream. He's able to gain something, but it's maybe not quite enough. There's only a few minutes to go, 3 minutes 25 plus 1 lap. And so it definitely, Da Costa is on the back, but I'm not so sure that he's got enough energy to be able to overtake. It is going to be a robust overtaking manoeuvre by Antonio Felix Da Costa.
And surely here, I know you poo-pooed me earlier, but surely here Da Costa can risk a lunge and Mortara can't afford a collision.
Yes, he can risk it, but at the same time, he's not the sort of driver to risk something crazy. I wouldn't expect.
That's the corner where he crashed with his teammate a few years ago in the lead of the race.
Yeah, but he's older and wiser since then. He's won a championship since then. I would hope.
Okay, so less than 3 minutes plus a lap to go. Verline's now down in 15th place. Look, he's still got 4% more energy than Mortara, so they really committed to that lap strategy, Porsche, and it's not paid off at all. 2.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Van Dorn is up into 9th place, trying to close in on Jake Dennis in 8th position. Here come the leaders, though, out across the line. 2 minutes, 20 seconds, plus a lap to go. So what's this? 3 to go now as they come across the line.
3 to go, and it is effectively 2 drivers now because Jean-Eric Verne is 3 seconds off the lead as Nick de Vries has overtaken Lucas Di Grassi. De Vries has now jumped up a position.
Verne allegedly hasn't used his fan boost according to the graphics, so that's a bit of an interesting one for Jean-Eric Verne, because you do have to use your fan boost.
Yeah, let's see whether that's the case or it's just not clicked up onto it. But Nick de Vries, we just saw that overtake. He's got a bit of a gap up to Evans, so I don't know if there's going to be too much more progress, even though he's got a couple % more energy. But the front two are definitely pulling away now. 3.2 seconds is the gap between Mortara and Verne, so it's half a second a lap.
Remarkable, remarkable. But here is Da Costa. Forget about Verne for the moment. He's there in 3rd place, he's gone. But the battle is on for the lead of the race. Mortara versus Da Costa. Now, Da Costa said, well, and has in the past forced the lead driver to overconsume on energy. I think back to Monaco last year. Evans, he knew he had more energy than Evans going on to the last lap because he pushed him and pushed him and pushed him. Are we seeing that happen here again?
I'm not really sure, they're too close to call, but I do think Jean-Eric Verne's got a problem because he has now dropped off a second a lap from the rest of the group on the last 2 laps. So Jean-Eric Verne in 3rd place is going to have to defend very quickly from Mitch Evans for the final podium position. As now Da Costa is just sort of mirroring everything that Mortara is doing at this moment. So I would say the aggressive charge that he had has maybe been blunted a little bit.
Evans closing in a little on Jean-Eric Verne. The gap is down. The gap came down by a second on that last lap. So,
and on the previous one as well, it was a second. So it's actually Jev that slowed down significantly as opposed to Evans speeding up.
So we'll keep an eye on that one. It's also pretty close between Di Grassi and De Vries still. De Grassi's on 2% less than De Vries, so he's going to be in a bit of trouble maybe, or De Vries will just end the race with too much energy. There's Mortara, there's Da Costa. The clock ticks down to 0. So at the end of this lap, there will be 1 lap to go in the Marrakesh E-Prix. Evans has got a real chance of getting ahead of Verne for 3rd place. Da Costa is just a little too far back at the moment, potentially coming into the left-hander of turn 11. This is going to be tight for all of the positions in the top 4 on the final lap. Evans has less energy than Verne, but he's feeling on the attack. Down towards turn 1, goes to the outside. Verne goes defensive. Evans goes for the dummy. Verne covers him back. These two championship protagonists both in the top 4 of the standings. And Evans wants to finish ahead of Verne.
Oh my goodness, that's a big lift off.
Early lift from Jean-Eric Verne, and Evans goes through into third, but that was nearly a big crash. And Da Costa now, how close is he to the back of Mortara for the battle in the lead? It looks as though Mortara might have it under control. Here they come, down towards turn 7. Mortara is looking strong. Mortara is looking comfortable. And Mortara is looking set to win for the 3rd time this season.
Very, very good run by Mortara so far. He's only got a half a lap to go, but it's anything but over with the energy targets being so close to the limit now.
They crossed the line basically with 0% remaining. Verne has a little bit more here than Mitch Evans, so it's not over in that battle for 3rd place. I think it's over in the battle for the lead, because Eduardo Mortara onto the brakes, into the left-hander of turn 11, gains another 2%, and there is the attack from Di Grassi. He's getting ahead of Nick de Vries, and he's suddenly back up into 5th position. But Eduardo Mortara, Di Grassi's teammate, comes out of the final corner. Mortara wins again. Mortara hits the championship lead with victory in Marrakesh. Da Costa is 2nd across the line. Evans is 3rd. Verne is 4th. 5th is Di Grassi. 6th is de Vries. 7th is Dennis. Van Dorn recovers to 8th. There's the delight on the face of Jerome D'Ambrosio, the team principal, and another win. And Diaz Techeetah, for the 2nd race in a row, failed to convert pole position to a win. After the Marrakesh E-Prix and 34 laps of racing, it's Eduardo Mortara who takes the victory. 2.3 seconds ahead of Antonio Felix da Costa. 6 seconds to Mitch Evans in 3rd, with Jean-Eric Verne finishing 4th. Di Grassi 5th with the fastest lap. De Vries in 6th. Jake Dennis in 7th. Van Dorn in 8th, having started in 20th. That's a pretty good result, you have to say. Sam Bird 9th, and Oliver Rowland, in the end, only finishing in 10th position and picking up 1 point from Mahindra.
Edo Mortara, 4th podium in 4 races, your 3rd win of the season, and the champion here in Marrakesh. You must be absolutely delighted.
Well, I am. I must admit, after free practice 2, we had a lot of issues, and I was not thinking that we could turn this thing around, but I have an incredible team behind me, and they managed to do an incredible job already in quali. And then during the race, they had a plan, they had a strategy, we executed it, and it was perfect.
It was ebb and flow at the start, and then once you got that lead, you just seemed to dominate. At any point, did you have any doubt in your mind?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you have the guys putting you under a lot of pressure, and I was trying to be intelligent, trying to manage, there was a lot to manage today. Tires, obviously, but also battery temperatures, energy, and it was very difficult. I had some issues with the car today, and yet I was a little bit by myself, let's say, but we did that, and I'm extremely happy.
What a difference a Formula E can make. Massive, massive congratulations, an incredible race.
Thank you.
Antonio Felix da Costa, you were brilliant in qualifying. It was a brilliant race. The start was so unpredictable. How did you assess that one?
Well, we had a good game plan. It looked like Edo had a little bit of an edge on us, but still I tried to keep him honest until the end. But yeah, I think other things, like in the beginning, middle of the race, compromised my end. So, I'm here, I'm happy. It's so great to be back in Marrakesh. I've always had good races here, even when I crashed from the lead near the end of a race. So yeah, amazing to have everyone here again. And first podium of the season for me. It's been a tough one. It's been hard to kind of punch through the wall and try and, the team's been great, picking me up and still believing in me. So that's awesome. Thank you to them for giving me a great car today.
Mitch Evans once again back on the podium from P6 to finishing 3rd. You battled start to finish and again made it exciting right at the end.
Yeah, that was a tough one to manage. Just threw everything at us, battery management, thermally and also energy-wise. Obviously battling with the other guys. I lost a bit of ground at the start and made it back. So the team guided me really well today. So it was hard to manage, but we got there. Another podium, a lot of points, another trophy. I'm happy.
And so, with Mortara's victory, he moves to the top of the championship standings. He is now 11 points clear of Jean-Eric Verne, and it is 15 points from Mortara to Evans, from 1st to 4th. Still no points to Robin Freitz. Da Costa's now up to 6th in the championship, only 6 points behind his former Andretti teammate Robin Freitz. It is now Rocket Venturi who are at the top. 2 points ahead of DS Techeetah. Mercedes EQ in third place. Look at that. 7 points separating the top 3 teams in the championship. Absolutely remarkable stuff. Mortara hit the championship lead with 6 races to go last season as well. Ended up not winning the title. Can he go one better this time around after finishing second to Nick de Vries last year? The celebrations begin. The celebrations will go on and on. Well into the evening, I'd have thought.
Another race to remember as Marrakesh once again brings the magic. Join us again next time as we head to the Big Apple for a street race like no other.
And here comes Evans. Evans goes to the outside. Here comes Da Costa and Verne. Jean-Eric Verne gets ahead. Here comes Da Costa. And Evans goes through into third.